Okay, fight fans and fight fiends, welcome back to Manny's Thoughts. I, of course, Manny MTL or Manny Montreal. Make sure to check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and obviously, thefightcity.com. As usual, I'll give you guys my thoughts on what's going down in the world of combat sports. Let's get started. Okay, so first off, UFC 195 went down. The UFC kicked off 2016 on the right foot. It was a good card overall. Couple disappointing fights for me. And as usual, it seems to become a weekly gripe of mine. I've got an issue with judging. Now, without going too deep into that, first off, a little let down. The Joseph Duffy fight didn't go as planned, I'm sure. You know what? Poirier did an excellent job and nothing taken away from him. Little upset with the judging. Unanimous decisions, a little hard to swallow. I mean, and then, you know, just the pointing, I don't know. I feel like there is definitely a bias going on, and I think maybe there is some sort of pressure from up top for the judges to have some sort of clear winner for some reason, when we all know that the fight game isn't really about clear winners, that sometimes it is that close, it is that tight. But, you know, ONE FC just did something with the point system. I don't know, maybe this will help. Yeah, judging, man, judging. Okay, so that leads me to my one good note of the night. Stipe put away Andrei Arlovski, now becoming number 2 and the mandatory challenger between Verdun and Velasquez. It's great news. Stipe's earned it. It's kind of crazy to think that Andrei Arlovski has been in the game since 2000. So, you know, we've known this guy's name for 15 years, and I don't think he'll just go away tomorrow. It wasn't one of those performances where you're like, oh man, Andrei Arlovski's got to retire. So I still think it places him like at 3rd or 4th, and it'd be nice to see him take the loser of Velasquez Verdun. Because, I mean, he's got a couple years left on him, and performance like that, it's a little hard to judge the guy on. But anyway, congratulations, Stipe. And then last but not least, Condit versus Lawler. Again, I got issues with the judging. Now, I understand to beat a champ, you got to beat the champ. And, you know, this defense has been used before. I had it 3-2 Condit. Now, a judge could have it the other way, and I understand that. But, I mean, I think it does warrant a rematch. The fact that Holly Holm and Ronda are going to be having a rematch is definitely proof that this deserves a rematch, maybe even more so than that. And I think the rematch would just be phenomenal. Now, as for the 5th round that everyone's so excited about, although it was, you know, intense because both guys were at their limits, I do want to point out that I didn't find Robbie looked as good as he did when he fought Rory, or for that fact, anyone else. So I think something Condit was doing was working properly, because it wasn't the usual Lawler you normally get. You know, Condit just keeps a crazy pace. Part of the reason I think he won is, if you know, go look at landed strikes. I know it's not boxing, and again, the judging and the point system, they need to do something. But listen, I think it warrants a rematch, so we'll see what they do with that. So that leads me to what's going on thefightcity.com this week. We've got great articles and posts on the daily, great videos and pictures for you guys to check out. Check us out on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. We are everywhere. We're doing well and hope to be doing much better in the near future. Like, share, subscribe, people. Do all that good stuff. If you like the t-shirts, go ahead and hit us up. We'll be more than happy to send you one. You can order one on the website as well. Show us some love and get a t-shirt. Now, that leads me to what we got going on this week. Now, here's the truth. There ain't much going on. I could talk about some King of the Cage and some other MMA that we can watch online. However, as promised last week, I said I would give you guys my list for fighters to watch in 2016, as far as MMA is concerned. Now, last week I did boxing, and I gave you guys a couple names. Now, if I was a manager or a promoter in another state or another province, I would have taken note of that episode. Same goes for this MMA episode. I mean, King of the Cage, Hard Knocks, World Series, Titan FC, UFC. They all got to start paying attention to these names. Some of these guys are a little further ahead in their careers. Some of these guys are just starting out. You know, the whole pro and amateur thing's a very murky world at the moment, but here in Quebec anyway. So I'm just going to give you some names and some weights, and you guys can go ahead and Google them and look into them yourselves and see what I'm saying, because, you know, these guys do pique interest. So, first off, we're going to go to the bantamweights. Bantamweight, real easy. I got two names for you. I've said them before. I'll say them again, and I'm going to say them for a long time. Xavier Louis, Ayman Zahabi. Xavier Louis fights pretty much any day, anytime, anywhere. The kid is just fighting as much as humanly possible. You know, within the year, I expect huge things for this guy. You know, he's just keeping pace right now that most guys can't. And I think it's going to lead him down a really, really cool and interesting road. Xavier Aloui. Now, the other name might be a little more familiar for you. Ayman Zahabi. Ayman Zahabi, younger brother of TriStar head coach Firas Zahabi. Now, despite the fact that this kid's got every tool and, you know, extra benefit that comes with being a very integral part of being in TriStar Gym, the secondary thing is that he's actually very talented, he's very athletic, and more important than that, you know, I find him very mature beyond his years. Now, on the opposite of Xavier, who seems to be fighting, you know, every 3 weeks, if I don't check the internet, I'm pretty confident this kid's probably 10-0 by the time I finish this episode. But, you know, they've really been cultivating Ayman, and, you know, they haven't been, you know, just throwing him out there and picking fights. They've been very selective about their plan. I've questioned it, but in the end, I mean, if one thing's for sure, that gym's got a plan, and if another thing's for sure is that if he's a Zahabi, he has a plan. So I gotta trust that they know what the hell they're doing, but sooner or later, trust me, this is a name you will know, Ayman Zahabi. Now, that leads me to the featherweights. Now, the featherweight's a little weird again, because technically Xavier Louis could fight in that weight category too, so I'll throw him in there as a featherweight as well. But the other featherweight I want you guys to look out for is a young man by the name of David Moon. Trust me, this is worth it. He's very, very fun to watch. You know, does some spectacular stuff in there. He looks full-blown pro. Looks like he's been fighting since forever. Look out for this kid, David Moon. Now, that'll bring me up to the welterweights. Now, welterweights, there's plenty of names I could mention, but there's one I feel you guys should know. That is Matthew Rushniak. Now, Matthew's had up and down kind of relationship so far with his career, but trust me, once this young man dedicates himself, there isn't much anyone else could do about it. So look out for Matthew Rushniak. Now, notable mention, I just want to throw it out there, because, well, you know what? I'm me, and I don't care. Mohamed Mustaine. That's right, I said it. Look out for Mo. You know, he also counts as a middleweight, so why not? Mohamed Mustaine, he's rated. You can go look for him. Go on Tapology. You'll see him. He's there. Now, that leads me to middleweights. Peter Grainger. If you don't know Peter, basically, he is a future Bond villain. Go ahead and look him up. He's also part of TriStar. Most of these guys all train out of TriStar. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm going by statistics and guys I've actually seen fight. I mean, if I haven't seen you fight, I'm not going to talk about you. So, you know, fair is fair. But Peter Grainger, look out for this young man. I think he's going to get signed if he's not already signed to somebody right now. Hint, hint. Now, Joe Valet, light heavyweight. Fun. Joe Valet is a fireworks show. You want to see some nice striking, you want to see a nice fight, you are a promoter and looking to get your fans out of the crowd and cheering Joe Valet. Trust me, that's a good bet. So that's it for me this week. Make sure you check out thefightcity.com. Hit me up on Facebook or Twitter if you got any questions. I will answer you. Check out The Crow Speaks. It's another segment I do. Go look at the pictures and videos I do, because I do that too. And coming very, very soon, I am going to be doing phone interviews. I got to keep it hush for the moment. But guys, pay attention, because I'm changing the game. I'll see you guys next week.